Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off with news locally here in Trinidad and Tobago. A central businessman was shot and killed in Chaguanas on Tuesday night. According to police, 50-year-old Darren Muhammad Ali was shot multiple times while seated in his Toyota Hilux near his home off Joyce Road at around 10:30 p.m. Reports are that a man stepped out of some bushes on the roadside and opened fire on Mr. Muhammad Ali as he pulled up to his house. Lord Father, but you're going home and you're not really even thinking that would happen to you. The businessman was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, of course, we have to ask the question, what was the motive? Was this man involved in something? Was he a witness? Was he being extorted? There's always a motive, people, including robbery. My response, just as I said under the PNM administration, I will continue to say the same while this party I support, UNC, is in office. And SOE, people, isn't the solution to our crime crisis here in TNT. Gang culture and the worship of weed, marijuana, is destroying the minds of our peoples. And SOE can only reduce criminal activity temporarily and by a limited percentage. As long as we are protected by a completely corrupt TTPS and the death cult is glorified by our media and artists, the indoctrination will continue and new gangs will arise and continue to torment the lives of the entire population. While many of us aren't influenced by entertainment, there are tens of thousands who embrace gang culture as an actual religion. People have said it umpteen times, numerous times. They actually believe in a gangster paradise where they can go and sip on Hennessy and do a lot of other things for eternity. I went on to say, fix the broken judicial system so that murderers can be legally sent into eternity via rope justice or whatever other justice, but we have rope justice. After a short trial, ban the glorification of gang music and prohibit categories in local award shows, which allow the glorification of murder to shine bright like a diamond. These things need to stop, people. End gang culture glorification and gang culture in general in Trinidad and Tobago. Sleep better. Say goodbye to stiff necks, headaches, and restless nights. Our premium cervical pillow is designed to perfectly support your neck and spine, keeping your body aligned while you sleep. Soft yet firm, it adapts to your shape, giving you ultimate comfort and deep, rejuvenating rest. Whether you sleep on your back, side, or stomach, this pillow reduces pressure points, eases tension, and helps you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Invest in your sleep. Your neck will thank you. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and feel the difference from the very first night. Some more local news. While he acknowledges that a recent uptick in murders was unfortunate, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says the most recent spat of murders was not necessarily related to the activities that sparked the ongoing state of emergency, as they took place in a different part of the country and under differing circumstances. Wow, we know that, and we know you're trying. We know that you are trying. But then you should have had a limited state of emergency just in the Port of Spain region or whatever. And as I said in the other commentary there, just before this other report here, cannot depend on an SOE in order to be able to fight crime. What are we going to do? Continue imposing an SOE for the next 5 years in order to control crime? And you are seeing for yourself that is not ending what we have here in Trinidad, which is an infection of gang culture. And also, the minds of people are being totally distorted and affected and corrupted, not just by gang culture, music, and whatsoever, but by the marijuana drug self. Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our mega duffel handbag, perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. At least 19 illegal quarrying suspects were detained earlier yesterday morning, October 9th, after police officers from various tactical and specialist units within the TTPS raided an illegal quarry site in Manuel, Congo, Guanapo. Said to be at the center of a multi-million-dollar operation. In a subsequent statement, the TTPS Corporate Communications Unit said via WhatsApp that several people and millions of dollars worth of equipment have been seized as the investigation continues. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Now for some regional news, international consultant and former Jamaican Ambassador Curtis Ward says the United States does not need a base in Grenada to act militarily against Venezuela. As Prime Minister Kamala Persaud's predecessor's decision to welcome U.S. forces to TNT represents a break with CARICOM's zone of peace policy. Well, CARICOM, best disband CARICOM or pull out of CARICOM, and I know I'm telling you. Because all of them who live in higher, who have islands situated further up in the Caribbean, they are not in danger of being annexed by Maduro. So all they really need to calm all yourself and relax all yourself and mind all your business. And individuals here in Trinidad and Tobago that calling for that, talking about zone of peace, most of these individuals could fly out anytime they're ready. If there is an attack by Venezuela, then who gonna protect us? Huh? Who gonna protect us? I wonder if CARICOM will protect us. Meanwhile, regional security expert Dr. Gavin Hira, expert my foot, said that while Grenada has the sovereign right to make its own security decisions, Caribbean stability depends on neutrality, cooperation, and transparency. We real stable as a Caribbean region, real stable, boy. And Professor Aldi Knight, an international relations scholar at the University of Alberta, also cautioned against Grenada accepting the U.S. proposal, warning it could be a huge mistake. Yeah, well, you come and defend Grenada, nah, man. You come, right? You bring your troops, your buddies, and defend Grenada against Maduro. My response? The media and the experts are now trying to bully Grenada, even though they all know about Maduro's attempts to annex their Essequibo in Guyana. Our respective islands have all rights to allow our big brother USA to protect us from rogue communist nations. It's as simple as that. So to all those experts, you all can say whatever you want to know, because you know that, I'll say it again before I move on. You know you can afford to fly out of Trinidad, fly out of Grenada within a couple hours if it is you end up hearing that Maduro decided he's going to annex Grenada or annex Trinidad and Tobago. Mind all your business, man. Premium touchscreen wireless headsets restocked. 1.9-inch HD full-color touchscreen. ANC and ENC noise reduction for crystal clear calls. 9D panoramic sound. Long battery life and fast charging. Control music, videos, TikTok, YouTube, and much more. Camera feature, voice assistant, timer, stopwatch, and lyrics on screen. Water resistant, sleek design. Available in gold, black, blue, and purple. Gift ready packaging with replacement earbuds included. Never lose your earbuds again with the Find Headphones feature that actually works. Don't miss out. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order. Limited stock available. News from Guyana now. Balram Bisasa, called Navin, a 49-year-old laborer of Stewartsville, West Coast Demerara, has been remanded to prison over the fatal stabbing of his 15-year-old stepson, Sudesh Singh, called Joel. I think it was over a bicycle. I reported about this a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Bissessa appeared at the Vreed and Hoop Magistrate Court before his worship magistrate, Singh, where the charge was read to him. I hope he's charged with first-degree murder. I hope there's rope justice in Guyana. The Cherry Jagan International Airport has announced that it is treating the recent allegations of bribery and extortion involving overweight baggage fees for Caribbean Airlines CAL passengers with the utmost seriousness. In an official statement on Thursday, the airport said it is working closely with the airline and relevant authorities to make a thorough investigation a thorough investigation into the claims made by a Caribbean Airlines passenger. Caribbean Airlines, that's not our own here in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. Lord Father, my goodness, thank goodness. The Kamala Pasal administration has only been in office for about 5 months, so they can't really blame Kamala and them for that, hopefully. Tired of losing your keys, phone, or coins in that annoying gap between your car seat and the console? We've got the perfect solution. Our universal car seat gap fillers are back in stock, ready to save your stuff and make your ride clutter-free. Available in black, brown, beige, and red, they're designed to fit any car seat and blend perfectly with your interior. Simply WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and enjoy delivery straight to your door in just 1 to 3 days. News from Jamaica now. In one of every 5 planned police operations in which a civilian is killed at home, a female occupant of the premises is either removed or barred from the ill-fated area moments before cops open fire. So if it is that you actually went to a location and the suspect was really firing at you, how did you get the opportunity to remove the female individual from in the firing zone? That makes any sense? No, that sounds a whole lot like extrajudicial killings to me. According to the Independent Commission of Investigations, this troubling pattern is becoming a hallmark of deadly police raids, mirroring other persistent failures such as tampering with CCTV footage. Police, tampering with CCTV footage to cover up their crimes. Failure to activate body-worn cameras, improper handling of weapons and evidence, and the widespread use of flawed search warrants. In these operations, witnesses, often women or young children, are routinely removed from the scene before a so-called shootout begins. That's exactly, I believe, what's taking place here in Trinidad and Tobago as well, and that's why I continue to call for a thorough investigation and a complete cleanup of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, because it cannot continue. You cannot have criminals fighting crime, people. It just won't work, and that's why crime will continue to spiral out of control in our country. You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability, 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. The St. Mary police are investigating the shooting death of 17-year-old Raheem, also known as Murder Smith. You know about that name, boy? At a shop in Anoto Bay in the parish on Tuesday. Smith is of a Crooked River address in Anoto Bay. According to a police report, at approximately 10:20 p.m. on Tuesday, 2 armed men approached a group of young men playing dominoes at the shop and requested a phone call, which was not granted. So I guess what happened afterwards is that they decided to shoot them or whatever. That just sounded like excuse though. Most likely that individual, Mr. Murder, was targeted for a specific reason. The police are reporting that at least 2 men who were suspects in Sunday's deadly gun attack in Commodore Linstead, St. Catherine, in which 9 people were shot, 5 fatally. These 2 men were shot and killed during separate police operations in St. Catherine yesterday. Now, the thing about it is, we still don't know. Same thing, it goes back to what I was discussing just now there. Was this a legitimate case of being fired at and then you firing back in order to neutralize the suspects, or was this another case of extrajudicial justice? Now, people will say as well, people will say that these individuals committed a crime. Yes, but remember, these are still suspects, and they don't have, I don't know if they have the evidence to prove, and they have not been tried in court. They say illegal guns, including they said illegal guns, including an M16 rifle, were seized. Now, of course, let's just be very clear about one thing. If the police were fired upon, then justice was served.
Christopher Phillips, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 5.
Yes, Mr. Phillips, an incident take place, across 2 districts at North and South. Could you just shed some light, for us?
Right, we had 2 incidents across St. Catherine North, St. Catherine South. The first incident took place in a community called Nollis in the Bagua area, and the second is Rangeley this afternoon. Based on our investigations so far into the multi-victim shooting that took place in Commodore, it led a police team this morning into the community of Nollis, where the joint police military team was confronted by a man armed with an M16 rifle in that community, and subsequent to that, police took evasive action, and that weapon was seized. That man was rushed to the hospital and later succumbed. In a follow-up and connected operation, the police team intercepted a vehicle traveling along the Rangeley road with several persons aboard. The team was again confronted by a man who was also in that vehicle. I just want to say that the investigations into what took place in Commodore is ongoing, and there are still information that I cannot divulge. But just to say that these 2 incidents are connected to that investigation, and we will have several other operations, with the intent to try and arrest some of these persons who are involved in that gruesome and awful incident in Commodore. I just want to appeal to the community, especially in the Linstead area. You might see increased police actions inside there, that we want to enlist continued support in that community, and it might affect several other communities within the St. Catherine space. But just rest assured that the JCF will continue its investigation, and we appeal for the continued support of the public during this time as we receive justice for the victims.
Mr. Phil, are any firearms recovered from
2 firearms were seized. 1 M16 rifle, as I said, in the community of Nollis, and here in Rangeley, handgun was also seized.
Could you say how the other men in this car, how they escaped, sir?
Well, the initial report is saying that few persons ran from the vehicle, but they were challenged by one person who was left back on that.
Can you clarify for us, was it an ongoing operation or they were just intercepted by stop and search?
So as I say, the investigation is ongoing. From those investigations, and so as those unfold, we will respond accordingly.
And you said that Linstead is supposed to expect more police presence. Are we thinking zones of special operations or just?
Not at the moment. As it is so far, we have imposed curfews on some communities in the Linstead area, and those might continue for a little while until we are satisfied that we have achieved our objective.
Thank you.
International news now. Award denied. The Nobel Committee awarded this year's Peace Prize to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado or Machado, amid calls for President Trump to receive the honor for brokering a historic deal between Israel and Hamas. The committee's deadline for nominations was January 31st, meaning the president could be eligible for next year's Peace Prize. I don't know. Donald Trump said that he wasn't actually, that wasn't his reason, or that wasn't his agenda, or that wasn't his motivation for seeking peace in the Middle East. I believe most likely, personally, he was hoping that he would have won. But they are saying that it was because, the nominees would have been chosen since quite in January 31st. Is that true? I don't know. We will never find out. Does Trump deserve this Nobel Peace Prize? Yes. Do I still agree with what he's doing and how he believes that there's going to be permanent peace in the Middle East? No, the Bible says it's not. And therefore, he's still very much spiritually blind. And I still don't agree, as much as I'm happy with what is taking place right now, where there appears to be a peace treaty between Hamas and Israel. And that's just phase one, the releasing of the hostages. Hamas hasn't agreed to disarming yet. So we don't know if there's going to be any peace, anyhow you take it. But let's just say that they do agree to disarm as well and even leave Gaza, the Hamas terrorists we are talking about. Even if they agree to leave Gaza, remember the population, the entire Palestinian population have been indoctrinated since young to despise Israelis. And that's why they say the chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They don't want a two-state solution. In their hearts and their minds, they will never give up trying to defeat Israel. Two important updates from Israeli and American sources. Israel has received American guarantees that it will be able to respond militarily to Hamas violations. This is what I can't handle, how America still is behaving as though they are the king of Israel. They had to give Israel permission. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. In other words, an upgraded Lebanon format. There will be no dull moment. Israel will not withdraw to the second withdrawal line in Gaza until Hamas is dismantled from its core. This is part of the agreement. So in practice, it will become a kind of Area C in Gaza under Israeli control without any enemy nationals, 53%. So this is good, people. But as I said just now there, it does not mean that there's going to be permanent peace. And even if they do end up accomplishing removing the Hamas terrorists and relocating them into another country, Palestinian population will remain there. New York Attorney General Letitia James has been criminally indicted on federal charges by a grand jury. James, who led a civil fraud investigation against Trump in 2023, and she actually campaigned before that, before she was elected, that she would have gone after Trump. That's premeditated, people. It was all a witch hunt, and we know that. She was indicted on charges of bank fraud in Alexandria, Virginia, according to court documents. Prosecutors accused James of making false statements to a bank regarding a mortgage loan for a house in Norfolk, Virginia, the documents stated. Those documents, from what I remember, have been circulating for quite a while now. My response? No one is above the law, because that's what she famously said when she started to go after Trump. Tribal far left Letitia James will now learn the hard way that belonging to certain groups. You all know the groups I'm talking about, right? We have them here in Trinidad as well. Doesn't give you the privilege to live above the law. Certain things that happened to your ancestors centuries ago, which was wrong, which was evil, does that give you the rights to be racist, prejudiced, or commit crime? I'm telling you, I heard from an individual right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and I see it even in the comments online. They wanted P. Diddy to be set free. And the reason is, in their minds, because certain white individuals probably have been set free in the past wrongfully, they should also do the same for P. Diddy. How on earth that makes sense? Seek justice against those individuals that were released wrongfully in the past. But don't try to say and use that as a precedent set, and therefore Diddy should be set free just to be able to say what? A white man was released wrongfully, so a black man now has been released wrongfully. So that could give you some kind of satisfaction of equality. Equality, no people, that is wrong, and that kind of mentality needs to stop. Candace Owens called Judeo-Christianity a scam and a lie in a direct message to someone's friend called Pastor Penny Maxwell. Penny shared this on her social media, and she says she's praying for Candace to see the truth. My response, she's proving my point about demon possession. This was a woman that I greatly admired. I even wanted her to become the president of the United States when she was old enough. A few years ago, she still would not have been able to qualify because of her age. But now this woman has made a complete U-turn. This woman has basically gone back on the radical left side, although she still probably claims to be a conservative, And a lot, probably, I don't know, must be more than 50% of her followers are born-again Christians like myself, Judeo-Christians. And yet, you are insulting that entire group. How can these people continue to follow that woman and to support that woman? I will never understand. Two powerful offshore earthquakes struck the same region in the southern Philippines hours apart on Friday, with the first 7.4 magnitude trembler killing at least 6 people, setting off landslides and prompting evacuations of coastal areas nearby because of a brief tsunami scare. Wow, condolences to all the victims' families. And I am also thankful that I contacted a friend of mine from the Philippines, and she is fine, she is well, and her family, her parents are well. But nevertheless, it's sad. It's sad to see, to read about this disaster taking place in the Philippines yet again. So as a people, please, as a nation, there's a lot of different islands, but as a nation, people from the Philippines need to come together and probably ask themselves, is God placing judgment upon our country, upon our nation? Maybe, just maybe, it probably has a lot of individuals that are anti-Semitic in the Philippines. Maybe they are anti-Zionist in the Philippines. God judges people for a lot of different practices as well. Corruption, different types of crimes, unnatural types of lifestyles. They need to assess themselves and then consider, maybe, just maybe, they need to repent, and therefore this type of judgment, if it is that it's God that is casting judgment upon their land, it will stop.
Last night we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday. And most people thought that was not going to happen, and it happened virtually unanimously. We had one laggard. It was Spain. Spain. You have to call them and find why are they a laggard. And they're doing well, too. The funny thing, because of a lot of the things we've done, they're doing fine. They have no excuse not to do this, but that's all right. Maybe you should throw them out of NATO, frankly.
Obviously, bringing the hostages home it's been a priority for President Trump for a very, very long time, and we've all worked very tirelessly to do that. But I really want to say that this all would not have been possible without the bravery of the IDF and the soldiers, what they've accomplished not just in Gaza, but also what they've done in the theater over the last couple of years to eliminate Hezbollah in the north and really degrade them. What you were able to do in Iran, it really helped set a big tone. But particularly seeing the way that your citizen army, I know a lot of you, probably all of you, have family, friends who were in this effort, really put your sacrifices on the line to fight for your country and to try to make a difference. I think that made a very, very big difference in there. And I want to just give a very, very special thanks to Prime Minister Netanyahu, who really did an incredible job with this and did a great job with the negotiations. You held your lines firm, and I think that between you and President Trump, you had a lot of alignment on what the end state should be.
The hard job was the Prime Minister's. He had the job of protecting this country. He had the job of making tough choices with regard to how tough to be with Hamas, when to be flexible, when not to be flexible. I think to myself all the time, I lost sleep over it. What would I have done in some of those circumstances? There were times that I thought we should be more flexible, or your country should be more flexible. But the truth is, as I look back, I don't think we get to this place without Prime Minister Netanyahu playing it And I'm not just saying that. They're not just words. The President believes that. My President believes it. He believes that Prime Minister Netanyahu made some very, very difficult calls, and lesser people would not have made those calls. And here we are today because Hamas had to, they had to do this deal. The pressure was on them, they were backed up, and you've got the bigger army, you were making inroads, and that's what led to this deal.
Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our Mega Duffel handbag, perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report and the week's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all, in Jesus' name.